Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today is gonna be kind of a different video, not like a vlog type of video, but like a sit down type of video. My birthday just passed this last week and I'm gonna be doing a 25 things I've learned by 25. Real quick though, if you're wondering why the body is so T, I'm wearing a waist trainer. I don't know if this is like gonna help anything, but I like how snatched it makes me feel. And I don't know, I might just wear it when I'm at the house, not when I'm at work or the gym, but maybe like while I'm cleaning or just at the house or whatever. Also, I got my bands. For my engagement ring, I decided to get two. The bands are from Pandora, and so is this little star ring. Anyways, let's get on with it. Bonnie is sitting down there next to me. I wrote it in my little books. I don't remember everything I talked about. Like I do have a general idea because I am me, obviously, but I wrote this last week, so. All right. If I'm looking down, it's because I'm reading from this book. 25 things I've learned by 25. Number 1, forcing people to behave how you want never works, or only works in the short term. Basically, you cannot change people. You cannot teach an old dog new tricks. You can encourage, but ultimately, any change that somebody decides to do is a result of their own doing. Can you not? Bonnie, go take your ball in the other room.
A few moments later.
You guys will also have to excuse, I have these pimples that are healing that are super gnarly, and I don't feel like putting a patch on when it's the afternoon. I'm not gonna get like a full day's use out of them. Number 2, being worried about time wasted is an excuse to waste more time and is self-harm. So right now I am in the process of trying to lose some weight because I'm fat, but a lot of times I would tell myself, like, I'm already too far gone, like, there's nothing I can do. In the past, anyway. You know, even if you feel like you're out of time, if you're still living every day, you have enough time. I'm trying to articulate better what I mean by this. Basically, like, you know, maybe you waste time in a relationship and you're like, well, I've already been with this person for the X amount of time and it's too late to move on. So why are you going to spend the remainder of your time being with this person, doing this thing, living this way that makes you unhappy? Yeah. I mean, that can be applied to a lot of things. Number 3. The simpler your beauty routine, the better off you'll be. And I know you guys aren't trusting me right now because I have a lot of acne right now. But the simpler products are typically the best ones. In the past, when I was younger, I had acne. I would overuse a lot of products, like trying different things every single week, and then you end up wasting the remainder of the stuff you had already bought. Keeping it simple. I used to wear like super heavy makeup. I actually felt like it made me look older than what I do now, and maybe that's just inspired by this like clean girl aesthetic. Like maybe that's just the trend that's in now. But keep it simple. My grandma uses Pond's like cream for forever, and her skin is so amazing. Like no pores, so soft, so smooth. And she's using this like $4 cream, and she's been using it at least since I was a kid. She's using the same thing, using the same L'Oreal mascara. If it works, it works. Number 4. Money is worth more in the future versus today, but money invested yesterday is worth the most. So, obviously, like, saving your money, great idea. And a penny saved is a penny earned, of course. But investing is really the way to retirement, and that's essentially what a 401k is. But it's important to do your own thing. You know, relying on Social Security is definitely not enough money for a lot of people, as we've seen. So having your own source of retirement, whether that's a Roth IRA, a regular IRA, or even just a 401k at work plus Social Security, highly recommend. Money invested is always worth more in the long term than just keeping cash. And I mean, if you don't intend to spend the cash within a while, invest it. Invest it. Just leave enough for a couple months of expenses in your account. After that, it's pretty much pointless after that to leave more than like 6 months of expenses in your account if you really want to have like a strong savings. Number 5. People who lash out at you unexpectedly are usually dealing with more than you know. The problem is them, not you. This is very self-explanatory. I don't even know if I need to say anything. Number 6. Cleaning as you go saves more time than doing a big clean. I think I could take my own advice on this one. I try to clean the kitchen as I go when I'm cooking. Pick up the eggshells, pick up the veggies, whatever. And obviously that doesn't last very long. But when my whole house is dirty, I get extremely overwhelmed and unmotivated. Versus if I clean as I go, I'm already waiting for my food to cook. I'm already waiting for this load of laundry to be done. Why not just fold this one or vacuum while I wait? Or, you know, even if you're like in the shower and you just keep like dish soap and a sponge in there and you wash your shower once a week while you're in the shower. I've seen people do that, and I thought it was weird at first, but you're already in the shower, you're already getting wet, and you don't need to step back in the shower to clean it when you're already dry. You can just do it while you're in there. Also, whenever I leave my car, if I'm going somewhere into an establishment I know that has a trash can, I will grab the straw wrappers or trash in my car. Number 7. Credit, as fortunate as it may be, is often just as powerful as income. Use wisely. Y'all, if you're young, don't fuck up your credit. Your credit is so important to getting a home loan, getting an auto loan, maybe you don't have enough for an emergency and you need to put something on a credit card. I mean, obviously we don't recommend that, but it's good to have. I like to use credit cards for points, but I am, as Caleb Hammer calls it, a credit card person. I pay off my balances every month, which if you have trouble with that, maybe having a lot of credit cards isn't for you. But everybody, if you're 18 years old, you should open a secured credit card. You put down a deposit. It's basically money that, like an insurance, if you will, that if you don't pay, like, they will use your deposit. Number 8. Family is the most important thing, but family can also be toxic and prevent you from living your true life. I've seen this lots of times where family wants you to live close to them. They want you to go to the school they went to. They want you to play the sports that they played when they grew up. They want you to get married where they always wanted to get married. Take some time to really think. She's having a ball back there. But take some time to really think, what do I want? Like, I'm the one that has to live this life every day. You know, I do think there's compromise, like, if it's a decision that is going to affect, like, maybe they're the ones paying for it, etc., like, okay. But that is one of the reasons that it sucks to not be independent, because you're always going to feel like pressured to choose what that person wants if you're relying upon their income for something in your life. Number 9, friends are just as important as family. Good ones, that is. Not every friend is as important as family. Some friends are casual friends. Some friends are work friends. When friendships have lasted through you going through very painful situations, that is when you really find out who your true friends are. Who is going to pick you up when you're stranded on the side of the road? Who is going to bring you something just because? Who's gonna come visit you when you move to another state? I can't stress this one enough. Anybody who hasn't come and visit me where I live now, they're probably not a close friend. I've lived in Washington for 3 years now. Most of my close friends, if not all, have come to visit me. And likewise, I have come back to Vegas to visit them. Number 10, never put a significant other's needs above yours all the time. Now, I feel like this one can get misconstrued. That's why I added the all the time part. I think it's okay temporarily to put your significant other's needs before yours, especially if they're dealing with something like a sickness, a job loss, a death in the family. Maybe they're going through a career change, they're trying to finish school. But if in every situation of your everyday life, whether it's what we're going to eat for dinner, where we're going to live, what we're going to do, where we're going to go on the weekend, who we're going to hang out with, if they are making all those decisions and they only are willing to go do stuff that they already want to do, they're not willing to do stuff that maybe you want to do that, you know, maybe doesn't excite them as much. You need to either do it yourself and stop doing so much for that person, or break it off. There should be compromise. There should be give and take. There is no 50-50. There is no 80-20. There's just do. Yeah, and you should want to. I know I've done stuff I don't want to do. I don't, want to go into the store. I don't want to go watch these cars or go see this movie. But I do it at least once in a while, because spending time with the person is what is important, not necessarily what you're doing, if that makes any sense. So yeah. Number 11, health is wealth, mentally, spiritually, even physically. Do I need to say more? I should learn this myself. I feel like I've got a lot of this down right now, except for physical, but I'm slowly working on it, and mentally, it's constant. It's not something that you get there and you stay there. It's so annoying. It's like a up and down flow, and you just hope that you don't stay at the bottom too long. You just hope that there's more highs than there are lows, basically. But take care of your health, even if you're skinny. Just take care of yourself. I say with my Dutch Bros coffee.
So that was a f***ing lie.
I mean, it is sugar-free flavoring, though. I will say that. All right, 12. Credit cards and split payment apps are often a trap and should be used cautiously. I'm talking to all you Klarna DoorDashers with this one. This kind of is like similar to one of the previous ones, but these split payment apps are, I don't recommend them. I recommend saving the money on the side until you have the money for the item, because this need for like instant gratification has ruined, I feel like, a lot of our attention spans and our willingness to work hard for the things that we want, at least with like younger people anyway. And I can only speak for like what I see, but I feel like this instant gratification due to I'll just put it on my credit card, I'll just do 4 payments, and then often it ends up being more expensive in the end, actually, because you have fees when you don't fully pay something off, you have fees if you pay something late. That kind of goes hand in hand with ruining your credit basically as well. So use cautiously. I do recommend credit cards. I do recommend paying them off. 13. Sometimes the trick is to be happy with what you have and not with what you don't. I've been practicing this so hard lately, where I constantly am like comparing myself to people who have more jobs, make more money, and then I realize like I have so much though that some people don't have. I have a good amount of free time to sit here and make this video. I have a house. I have this extra room just where I can work. It's not a bedroom. It's not my roommate's. I have a paid off car. I like to take time to be grateful for what I do have versus what I don't. And I put that in comparison with how I used to live, and I'm instantly like switched back into gratefulness when I think about the past. I think about how much worse things were, and I know that it will only get better in the long run. So grateful for that. Yeah, but to take time to be grateful, be realistic. Find happiness in cheaper things. Find happiness in utilizing tools you already have. Like today, I pay for my car wash every month, so I'm like, I'm just gonna go out and go to the car wash, return a package that didn't cost me anything, use my points for this drink that didn't cost me anything. Whatever it is, it might be different for you, you know. Maybe just make a trip out of going to the grocery store, just picking up like a small beverage for yourself, like something fun from the section. Make grocery shopping fun, you know, like planning out meals. One of the things I want to do is like go through my cupboards and just see what kind of canned stuff I have and like make ideas based on what I already have. Watching free YouTube workout videos, going for a walk somewhere different, making a fun beverage at home, a little cheaper that way, you know. All right. Number 14. Never let someone tell you or show you twice they do not care for you. We're going to pause on that one. Have you thought about it? I'm waiting. Never let someone tell you or show you twice they don't care for you.
Me personally, I wouldn't take this level of disrespect.
All right, we're moving on. I got nothing else to say about that. Number 15, invest time in people who invest time in you as well, even when it may be inconvenient. People do not do for their friends like they used to. I'm really passionate about this. They don't. What is the point of having friends if it's not to sacrifice at some points? And this goes hand in hand with the not putting everybody before yourself, but all the time. You know, that's different. If it's like this certain person's going through something or it's their birthday, yes, you should be going out of your way. If I need a ride to the airport, I feel so strongly about this. If I need a ride to the airport and it's not like, obviously right now I don't live close to an airport, so that's kind of different. But when I lived in Vegas and the airport is only like 20 minutes away from pretty much any direction, yes, if you have a car and you are one of my close friends, you should offer to take me to the airport. And I would do the same. Like, I will do stuff I don't want to do. I will spend my hard-earned money, take a week off work to visit my friends. I do it because I care about them. Do you even care? Do people even care about their friends anymore? Like, everybody's just like, well, me, be selfish. But then we also have this, like, weird epidemic of, like, sorry, I burped. We have this weird epidemic of, like, loneliness and, like, people getting into relationships with AI. And it's like, well, maybe you should try harder in the real world, make some friends, go on some dates. Like, I feel so strongly about this. This is, like, one of my more recent frontal lobe developments. All right. Number 16. This is going to be a long ass video. Number 16. Some of these I have to, like, read it first because the way I wrote it, I might have, like, written, like, a word out of place or misspelled something. The younger you invest, the better off you'll be. Less money invested several years earlier is more powerful than money invested later. Let me tell you guys. I wish I had been investing since 18. I have been investing since 21-ish, like midway through being 21, because that's when I had the money to do it. But I wish I had just been doing $100 to $200 from 18. Truly. I also cashed out my Walmart 401k when I quit there because I needed the money.
You're broke! You're f***ing poor!
It was only $500 at the time, but invest. $100, like, starting from when you were 18 invested, versus, like, let's say $500 when you're 40 until retirement is worth so much more money. And you can use compound interest calculators online to kind of see what I'm talking about. So, yep. $100, like, think about that. It's not really, like, that much money compared to how much money we spend, you know, eating out or buying boo-boos or clothes. Even if you just pick up an extra shift once a month and say, like, I'm specifically picking this up to invest in my future, goes a long way. And if you have a match with your company, always do what the match is. If your company is willing to match 5%, 3%, that's for free money, doubling your money. So always do at least what your company is willing to match. And after that, if you just want to do your own thing, I think that's fine. Number 17. A college degree does not equate to one's self-worth or value. I feel like when I was younger, this was kind of like, I wouldn't say gaslit. I'm trying to think of a better word. I was fed to believe that basically my worth would be tied to a degree. But the people I know that make the most amount of money actually don't have degrees. At least that are my age. Now, I'm sure, like, if there is something specific you want to go for, like, oh, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a teacher. Yes, you do have to go to school. But for me, I'm only going to school because it's free through my work. So I might as well just take the classes. But if I had to pay, I definitely would not be going. I don't really see a lot of people getting their money's worth unless they are doing something like that requires it, like lawyer, doctor, teacher. But if it's something like very general, I feel like it's like laziness is really just what's keeping people from teaching themselves a lot of these skills. Okay, sorry. I'm back. All right, number 18. The internet is not real life. This is another one I feel so strongly about. Remember to touch grass or go out into the real world and deal with real world situations and conflicts. Guys, please, the internet is not real. Stop fighting with people online. The internet is not going to be there for you when you die or get sick, or unless you're one of those people that's starting a GoFundMe for some shit they don't even need. I hate seeing GoFundMes for unnecessary things, actually. It's really fucking annoying. But touch grass. Like, please. I know there's been lots of memes about this Gen Z stare or about boomers, but just try to interact with people. Like, practice it. Like, I hate talking with, like, customers at my work, but, you know, like, I still do it. Like, I still have basic, like, hi, how are you? Like, I'm not, like, overly about it, but learn skills. Like, a lot of these problems that we see, these social problems, are really not, like, that much of a thing in the real world. Now, I don't want this to be misconstrued. Like, yes, there is important, like, social changes that we need to deal with, but just limit yourself. Like, come out of it. You know, the internet is not real. Things are clipped, edited. This video is probably edited. You know what I mean? So, don't believe everything you read either. 19. Just showing up for yourself at half capacity is better than rarely showing up but at your full capacity. I see a lot of people talk about this in regards to, like, the gym. Just showing up, and even if you only do 20 minutes, that's better than only showing up once a week and doing 2 hours. You know, if you're just, the consistency is what's important, because some days you're going to have the energy to do 20 minutes, and some days you're going to have that energy to do an hour. You're actually going to end up working out more, going more often and doing less. That's just, like, one example, though. Just showing up for yourself, you know? Even if you're like, I'm disappointed, just know, like, that you did. You tried. You know? And, yeah, you could say I could have done better, but you could have just not gone at all. But you went. You know? Show up for yourself. 5%. Some days you will have that 90%. You'll surprise yourself, because you'll show up and you'll think that you initially had nothing to give, and then you end up having a lot more. You're like, wow, I'm actually glad I came, because once I got down to it, I had more energy. Number 20, putting time into your appearance is valuable to confidence. Bitches, do not take how I look right now. Do not take how I look right now into this account. But over the last, I don't know, like maybe a year or so, I've been trying to, you know, put on some makeup before I go to work. Even if I just put on, like, concealer and then, like, some blush and mascara, I look instantly, like, more awake, you know, better. You know, put on your contacts once in a while. Maybe don't wear sweatpants every day. I mean, you'll feel better. Another thing I like to do is, like, use my hair dryer thing. It keeps it, like, from being all, like, wavy. And I can get, like, 2 or 3 days out of the hair. But just put some time into yourself, whether that's doing something, working out, you know, utilizing all these clothes you buy. You might as well fucking wear them, right? Putting on some skincare, taking the time to put on some teeth whitening. It doesn't have to be for somebody else, but investing in you, babes. You know, You are living with yourself all the time. Why wouldn't you put a little appearance in yourself? And don't think that that's like everything. I'm not saying go get plastic surgery. I'm saying do what you within reason would already do. You know? Like if you don't wear makeup, obviously don't just start wearing makeup. You know? That the putting the time into your appearance could be something else for you. It could be like ironing your shirt before you go somewhere. It could be putting on earrings, whatever. Number 21. Instead of worrying about what others think, worry about how you feel. Again, with what I just said. You're the one that's got to live with you. So, these people that only see you 1 hour, maybe they see you 8 hours at your job, they don't live with you 24 hours. They live with you one third of your life. If that. Because you have days off. You have vacation. Whatever. So why am I worried about what you think about me when you don't even live my entire life? The only people, you know, you should probably give yourself 5 people maximum that opinions you take into consideration. Because after that, it's just like it's just like a blob of like so many opinions coming at you. Like for me, you know, my significant other, my 1 or 2 closest friends, maybe 1 or 2 family members. That's it. Everybody else doesn't fucking matter. You don't live with me. You haven't spent time with me outside of this certain setting, you know? It's just like, why do I care? You know, people might judge some of the things I do, but then they're also like, other things I do, they're like, wow, that's so amazing, that's so this and that's so that, but I do these things because I live the way that I do. I'm able to do certain things because I sacrifice on other things. Some people don't understand that. Everybody's a critic, you know? Alright. Number 22. Money is a powerful tool, but often we need less money than our consumeristic culture tells us we need. So, this background is not doing me justice. This is like the one room in my house I really kind of go crazy with the knick-knacky things, if you will. I think I might actually do a video where I talk about like how I got each of my like knickknacks or posters behind me and like maybe what they mean, who gave them to me. Because I do have a lot of like cool stuff and it's associated with like memories or it's from different countries, different places. But I mean, if we really nickel and dime it, how much money do we really need? We don't need cars. If we live in a city, we could take public transportation. You know, we don't need to eat out. We can grocery shop. Eating out is not cheaper than grocery shopping. This is a hill I will die on. Do not tell me that. Please. Save that comment for yourself. What other things do people... You know, we don't need the boo-boos. We can buy clothes at Goodwill, which... Why is Goodwill so expensive right now? When did Goodwill, like, become Walmart Target price? That's besides the point. I mean, we do need a place to live, and obviously that's a big factor in people's cost, and that sucks, and I'm paying way too much for where I live, right? But we need less than what the next greatest Amazon find. Buy this on Shein, free shipping, $2 off, they're free shipping, $25 and up. Get the Rode phone lip case, get the Kylie Jenner lip kit, whatever it may be. We don't need it. We can allocate money to wants, of course, but don't freak out if you don't have a certain amount of money. Like, you don't need as much as society tells you need. I think like these people that have like a ton of kids, maybe that's why they do it, because they know they can get by for less. You have to sacrifice. But yeah, that's like one of my personal values. Like, I much rather spend my money traveling, so I definitely don't buy as much stuff as I could. That's how I personally choose to live. And you know, if you're sick of doing what you're doing, maybe try that out. I mean, try to really think, like, do I need to spend money on this? What will this, like, bring me? You know? 23. Learning is important, but that does not mean school per se. I guess this kind of goes, like, hand in hand with the college one. You should always be learning. You should always read something. Read a news article. Read a fiction book. Watch a YouTube video that's informative if you don't like to read. You know, you don't have to watch, you know, movies and shows. You can watch a documentary. You can watch something that's educational on YouTube. You can watch a how-to. You can get one of those dummy books. You can go to the library. It's free. You can read the newspaper. You can read news on your phone. Being educated, even if, and there's no way for everybody to be educated on everything that's going on with the world and news, but just learning how to do stuff, learning how to change your tire, which I need to fucking learn how to do, by the way. Learning how to just do stuff, like, it's important. You know, there might not be somebody around to do it for you, always. Or just learning about world issues, learning about history of stuff, like why are certain things the way they are, makes you, like, a lot less ignorant too. And I think traveling to other places has made me a lot less ignorant. I see that there's people, they have different values in different places. Like, maybe they're in, you know, like when you go to Mexico, like the value is, like, very, very, very strongly family oriented. Whereas, like, the American traditional values now are more like money, getting ahead, getting a degree. You know, like, there's different values in different places, and you kind of just realize that you're a small little fish in this fucking earth. You're just you're not even a fish. You're like algae in a pond, you know? And that's why it's like, you don't need to take it so seriously either. But you should not base, like, your critiques on, like, the same level for everyone, because people grow up different places. And just educate yourself, or go to school, or take a course, or go to a trade school, watch a YouTube video, every week. Just do something, just learn something, instead of, you know, watching brain rot on Instagram like I do. 24. Kids are not a requirement to live a full life. Now, I think a lot of people think, like, the goal is, well, at least in America, the goal is get married, buy the house, have the kids. Okay, I'm sorry, the college degrees first. Get the degree, party, you know, do your thing. Then you meet somebody and fall in love. Then you buy the house. Then you have the kids. Then you got the second house and the vacation house. You know, I've never personally been super drawn to having kids. I think we're seeing, like, a big increase in, like, this dink lifestyle, and a lot of people choosing not to have kids. And I'm kind of down bad with it. I mean, it's just, childcare cost is insane, and even if I could afford it, I just don't have the patience. I don't have the patience to raise kids, and I think, you know, maybe it's okay to just admit that. And I mean, if you don't have kids, I think you should definitely try to find a lot of close friendships to keep in your life, or other relationships, because, you know, when you have kids, they're kind of become, like, your most important relationship along with your significant other. But I don't think it's a requirement. I think it's okay to say, I maybe wanted to have kids, but since it's not like a hard yes, it's going to be a no. Do you know what I mean? The last one, 25. Travel as much as you can. Be hungry for other interpretations of the world. This provides insight. I unintentionally just talked about that. You'll notice, like, of course this is me who wrote that, because one thing will trigger me to think about another, like, point on this list, and I'll talk about it, and then it comes up again. Yeah, but I'm currently reading one of Anthony Bourdain's books that I bought used on Amazon, because I got an Amazon card for my birthday, actually.
This is for fun. We're doing that for fun, Tony.
This is fun like chlamydia is fun.
And you just gotta be hungry. Like, literally be hungry for other foods. Be hungry for knowledge. It's really incredible if you allow yourself to indulge fully in how other places are. You know, like, when you go home, you will go back to your routine. You will go back to doing what you always do. Why would you try to do what you always do when you're paying all this money to go somewhere else, though? So, I really like how Anthony Bourdain approaches life. Like, he's very, like, get in there of the belly of the beast, basically. And I think you could apply that in a lot of senses, not just travel. Like, just fucking dig a little deeper. Who cares if no one notices your progress? You'll notice, you know? But just go places. Even if it's like within your own country. There's differences within countries alone too. There's differences how people live. So, yeah. That's all I'm going to talk about for this video. And this video is probably super fucking long now. But thanks for listening to me. And I hope maybe you agreed with some of this, or I hope maybe you also learned something new, or just had like a, like, moment about something. And whatever you disagree with, let me know, because I also want to know. So we can fight about it in the comments. But I'm going to head out, and I'll see you guys in the next one.